From barbarians to Targaryens, nerds are passionate about a lot of things, but there's something they love above all else, and that is correcting people. This is Actually. Joining me today, we have Nick Marini.
Hey.
We have Emily Heller.
Hello.
And Edgar Momplaisir.
What's good?
All three of you new to the show, brand new faces.
Yeah.
So this will be fun. To briefly explain the game, I have here a stack of statements. These are false statements about the things that are nearest and dearest to your hearts, or if not to your hearts, to someone. Some rabid fan base is out there, and they care deeply about all the smallest details about these things. So it's up to you to find the wrong thing that I've said in the sentence, buzz in and correct me. Beyond that, there's only two rules. One is that you must precede all your corrections with the phrase, actually. If you don't, I won't give you the point. And you can interrupt me at any time. It doesn't matter what I'm trying to say. What's important is that I am wrong and you are right.
This is the opposite of polite conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is.
Cool.
It is replicating the absolute worst of this kind of behavior of just like, I know, it doesn't matter, nothing matters, I just need to prove.
It's what stops certain people from being nerds in the first place.
This is like the reverse of every OkCupid date I ever went on.
Oh, nice.
I just get to be that person now.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, the first question is about Warhammer. While many Warhammer armies are inspired by the writings of J.R.R. Tolkien, the Skaven, horrifying rat men, are not. The Skaven use overwhelming numbers to defeat their foes and are one of the most inexpensive armies, making them an attractive option for beginners.
Actually, because you need so many models, they're very expensive to collect.
That's true. It's like phenomenally expensive to build up a full Skaven army.
They are awesome, but way too many models to paint and build. Growing up, every time I had $80, I was like, buy more Warhammer.
Yeah. Just get sneakers, right?
Yeah.
Like, just get sneakers.
Yeah, well, you had your sneakers, I had my Empire army.
I still have my sneakers.
I do not have my Empire army anymore.
We're moving on. This next question is about Rick and Morty. In The Ricks Must Be Crazy, we are introduced to the character Zeep Zanflorp, a scientist who inhabits a microverse created by Rick to provide unlimited energy to the planet Earth through the use of Google boxes. Edgar.
Actually, I think that he's providing energy to his own planet, not necessarily the planet Earth.
You're on the right track. Emily.
Actually, he's just providing power for Rick and not the rest of the planet Earth.
That is even more specific, so I'm inclined to give you the point unless someone can be even more specific than that.
I just watched it. I should know.
Yeah, see, my roommate would know this in an instant.
I'm gonna give it to Emily unless someone can
fair.
swoop
You
in
can
right
give it
now.
to Nick's roommate if you want.
Yeah, Skylar, call in right now. You won't see this for another year, but if you can call in. Yeah, we'll say point for Emily for that.
Yes.
Because more specific about Rick's selfishness, the microverse exists just to power Rick's space cruiser,
Right,
not
it's the car.
the planet
Yeah.
as a whole.
It's the car.
That would be too altruistic as a
Yeah.
whole.
Yeah.
This is about the Neverending Story. Atreyu of the grassy plains discovers and rides the luck dragon Falcor after his horse Artax is devoured by Gamork, the wolf-like servant of Nothing. That was beautiful. You both agreed at the same time, but Nick got in there first.
Actually, he drowns in a swamp.
That is correct. He isn't killed by Gamork. He drowns in the swamp of sadness.
Those movies terrified me as a child.
Couldn't he have drowned in the swamp of happiness at least?
Well, then it would have become the swamp of sadness.
Yeah.
This is about Dungeons and Dragons, D&D. I'm sorry, Emma. I'm sorry.
I'm holding on to mine out of pride.
Dungeons and Dragons is full of legendary wizards, most well known through the continued use of the spells they crafted. We know Mordenkainen through his magnificent mansion, Tasha through her hideous laughter, and Tensor through his grasping hand.
It's Bigby's grasping hand.
You did not say, actually. Emily.
Actually, it's Bigsby's grasping hand.
It's Big B's grasping hand.
I got it,
Man,
basically.
I was so close.
It's Tensor's floating disc.
It is Tesla's floating disc, and Bigby is known for all kinds of hand spells.
Yeah.
Bigby's grasping hand, Bigby's interposing hand, Bigby's forceful hand. Emily's swooping in.
Hell yeah.
Look, that's the game, you know.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
say
You
actually.
said, it's not enough.
Won't
It's
make
not
that
enough.
mistake again.
This brings us to our first shiny question. Now, shiny questions are just like shiny Pokemon in that they are basically exactly the same. They're just a little bit different and a little bit rarer. This is a game we call Order Up. Everyone's favorite and least magically racist wizarding family, the Weasleys, figure in every Harry Potter book and movie in a major way. Please rank these Weasleys from oldest to youngest. So, begin. Edgar's buzzing in. This is incorrect.
I know it was incorrect.
But,
I had to take the shot.
I hear you, you know.
I can feel my girlfriend disappointed at home.
Is your girlfriend a big Harry Potter fan?
She's a big Harry Potter, the Magicians, all that stuff. And she's like, let's watch it. I'm like, nah, why would I ever have to watch it? And now I know.
This is why, yeah. You could have gotten a point, a valuable point. Yes, Emily.
This might be wrong, but I think I got more right than he did.
This is incorrect, but it's not wildly incorrect.
Okay, wait. I think I know how to fix it.
So mine was wildly, is what you're saying?
Yours is pretty wildly incorrect, but look, I'm not trying to point fingers here. I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad.
I mean, you know, we might as well check it out.
Check it out. Let's see what we got.
This is embarrassing.
This is pretty close to what Emily just had, I think.
No, his is way wronger at this part.
Which part was that?
Towards the end. Well, let's see what we got here. This is incorrect. Emily. This is correct.
Yeah!
Wow.
This is correct. There we go.
All right.
Arthur, Molly are the parents. Bill, Charlie, Percy. That is the order for the older siblings. Fred and George, the twins. Fred is slightly older than Ron and Ginny. And Rose.
Rose is Ron and Hermione's kid.
That's correct.
Spoiler alert.
Hey, if you haven't caught up by now, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I recognize that that's shitty to ask you which twin is the older Weasley twin.
Yeah.
Of course that's shitty.
How do they afford all those kids?
A wing and a prayer.
Yeah.
And hand-me-downs. But you think they
Hand-me-downs.
should just be able to be like, magic, here's some new clothes.
The idea of poverty existing in the wizarding world is a little bit like,
Come on,
Or
guys.
use of spells.
can we get beyond this? Like,
Yeah.
we got to figure something out here. Like, and I know it's always like, oh, you can't magic like money into existence, but,
But
it's
you
like,
can magic a robe. You know what I mean? Like, they spend most of their money on robes. Like,
You noticed some mistakes that we made in the last episode, and here they are. At Musical Weasel says, actually Hermione was not given the time turner by Dumbledore. Professor McGonagall gave it to her after receiving special permission by the Ministry of Magic for its use. That's 1 point for Musical Weasel, even though you used the wrong version of the word it's and have a comma splice. And from our Dropout Discord, I Wish I Was Fig says, actually, only Peter Wiggin goes on to be the Hegemon. Therefore, Valentine and he are never duly considered the most powerful entity on Earth, as Valentine actually leaves Earth well before that power is fully realized to travel with Andrew, real name for Nerd Score. Well, that's 1 point for I Wish I Was Fig. I'm sorry you're not Fig. Lastrit says, actually the Adsi myth you say is from Ghana, but the actual country of origin is not confirmed. It's an Iwe tribe myth, and while they have a large population in Ghana at 3 million, they also have 2 million people in Togo. So the origins of the myth are not precisely in one country. That's 1 point for you, and 1 point away from colonialism.
this is about Watchmen. Though Zack Snyder did take some creative liberties in his adaptation of Watchmen from graphic novel to movie, the main thrust of the plot remained unchanged, including Dr. Manhattan's self-imposed exile on the planet Mars, and Adrian Veidt, aka Ozymandias' plan to unite the world around a nuclear attack. Edgar.
Actually, in the comic, it's not a nuclear attack that unites everybody. It's kind of like a monster kind of thing. Like,
That's close enough. I'm gonna say that, yeah, it's an extra-dimensional alien that they
Yeah.
like zap in from some other plane who like appears and then immediately explodes.
yeah. I'm very upset that the Zack Snyder question is what put me on the board because I could feel like everyone being like, wow, for real? You're on that? That's where you're Yeah.
Oh, I know all of Zack Snyder's
Listen, I
canon.
really do.
It's like weirdly like a cheery view of humankind to be like aliens will bring us together.
I think like maybe if like that alien came back and was just like, yo, but Nickelback is dope. Like then everyone would be like, yo, all right, for sure.
It's
Like,
just an alien that expresses the worst opinions.
yeah,
It's
then
like,
we'd be like, oh, even intelligent life is kind of fucking stupid. Like,
well, this next one here is about Batman. Half man, half bat. Batman. In Batman Begins, Bruce Wayne refuses to join the League of Shadows, leading to his eventual confrontation with Ra's al Ghul aboard a monorail carrying a bomb to the center of Gotham. Emily.
Actually, it's Batman who refuses to join the League of Shadows.
I love how nitpicky that is as an answer, but no, that's not what we're going for here. Nick.
Actually, it's not a bomb.
That is correct. Do you know what it is?
I want to say it's like like he's gonna collapse everything.
That sounds like a bomb. It sounds like you're describing a bomb.
I thought it was like something that like caused an earthquake or something.
I'll give you the point unless Edgar can like swoop in and like tell me what it is. Yeah.
Actually, it's not a bomb. It's like a giant microwave kind of thing. And like, if it goes through the hospital, I think it's gonna like get into like the city's water source and just vaporize everything.
That's correct. Yes,
Yeah.
it's a microwave emitter that will vaporize the water and activate the chemical that has been put into the water supply.
Chris Nolan and Zack Snyder holding me down.
If you're a director who's adapted a DC movie, like I'll take
I'm
that
there,
point from you.
From South Park to Class Action Park, nerds like a lot of things, but there's something they love above all else, and that is watching way too much content. I'm Mike Trapp, and here's an actually for you. HBO Max is a streaming platform that features content from HBO, DC Comics, Studio Ghibli, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, Crunchyroll, Turner Classic Movies, Looney Tunes, and the Sesame Workshop. Did you find what was wrong? Actually, it doesn't have, oh, no, wait, actually, I guess it does have all that stuff. That's a lot of stuff to watch. Anyway, the holidays are gonna look a little different this year. That's why we partnered with HBO Max to make sure that you're aware of all the geeky, bingeable series and the huge variety of movies that are available on the platform right now. Guys, I watch stuff on HBO Max all the time. It's actually been like a really great way to research for the show because there's so much stuff on there that I know are the gaps in my geek knowledge. They have the entire Studio Ghibli catalog. Things like Doctor Who, Adventure Time, the Lego Movie. If you're a Stephen King fan, they've got The Outsider. If you're a comedy fan, you have to check out Stack Let's Flats. So get cozy this holiday season, snuggle up in a big old blanket, get binging, go to hbomax.com right now. Now, back to the show.
That is 2, 3, and 2.
Am I winning?
You're winning.
That's insane. This will not last.
This is about board games. Settlers of Catan simulates a group of settlers competing and trading resources on the island of Catan. To win the game, a player needs a set amount of victory points, which are acquired solely through settlements, cities, the 5 victory point cards, and whoever has the largest army.
Actually, you can have the longest road as well.
That's correct. Actually, you can have the longest road as well.
Can you
Isn't that
answer
cool?
too fast? Because that was pretty fast.
You broke the machine. That shouldn't count. I love that that's like a point of victory, of being like, wow, check out this road. Like, you know what? You did a pretty good job here. That road just never ends.
My favorite way to play Settlers of Catan is to just double down on sheep and just bleat at everyone every time that gets rolled.
You guys, sex is fun too.
No. I've heard of it. Tell me more.
That was unnecessary shade.
I've had one too many boyfriends blow me off to play Settlers of Catan. I'm
great game.
re-traumatized every time it's brought up.
This is our second shiny question, and this is a little game that we call Spelling Bee. Now, spelling in English is hard enough. Spelling in sci-fi and fantasy is damn near impossible. I'm going to give you a word from sci-fi or fantasy and want you to spell it. Standard spelling bee rules apply. Please say the name of the word before and after you spell it so I know when you're done spelling. You can ask me to use it in a sentence or what property the word is from. Your word is Kil'jaeden.
Can you use it on a sentence, please?
I can. Originally a member of the Burning Legion, this immortal demon served as the right hand of Sargeras and sought to restore his master to power by corrupting the will of the orcs. This terrifying demon from the great dark beyond was known as Kil'jaeden.
K-I-L''Jaden?
No, you're super close though. Very, very close.
Is it Kil'jaeden?
It's not, no.
Damn.
K-I-L exclamation mark J-A-D-Y-N.
No, but that's exactly the kind of shit like some sci-fi authors is gonna try to pull. You're very close, Nick. You left out one letter. It's K-I-L''Jaeden. It was that middle E that popped in there. It's so close, unfortunately. We can't give you a point. It's like you're creating a language. You have the opportunity to make this anything you want. And it's like, let's just load it up with
bullshit.
With bullshit, yeah.
I mean, it would be weird if his name was like Jeff.
Yeah. Although that is kind of the way like Game of Thrones works. You know, it's like, here's Ned. Our great hero, Ned. But sure, yeah, I guess Jeff the demon does have like a weird ring to it.
I feel like a lot of people who work in offices feel that way, though.
About Jeff.
About Jeff, there's like that fucking demon.
He's an asshole.
Yeah, he plays Settle of Catan.
He's always building those roads. Fucking Jeff's a demon. Now, of course, we're not perfect either. We may have made some mistakes along the way. If you notice something that we got wrong and you want to correct us, tweet at @actuallyshow. Tell us what we got wrong. If you do it, you might get a point. And remember, points don't count for anything. All right, well, speaking of Game of Thrones, this next question is about Game of Thrones. The dire wolves of the Stark children do not fare well in these stories. Only Nymeria still lives, while Lady Greywind, Ghost, Summer, and Shaggy Dog have all been brutally killed on screen. Nick,
Ghost is alive.
you didn't answer in the
Oh
first
my
one.
God.
Edgar beat Emily to the button.
Actually, Ghost is alive.
That's correct. Actually, Ghost is still alive.
Damn.
Every time it's announced like some new project that George R.R. Martin is doing, I feel like you can just feel so many people just being like, okay.
There's a dude at Birds who looks just like him. And everyone always stares him down when he's there because it's like, yo, finish that fucking book. But it's not him.
Please stop harassing me. I'm just trying to eat some overpriced chicken. This is about World of Darkness. Vampire the Masquerade depicts the shadowy, macabre world of the undead, separated into various clans. The noble Ventru, the beautiful Nosferatu, and the feral...
Actually, the Nosferatu are ugly as shit.
That's correct. The Nosferatu are ugly, sewer-dwelling vampires.
That's what it was?
Actually, beauty is subjective.
All right, well, we're going to move on to our final shiny question. This is a game we call Incantantio Ridiculum. Made-up worlds mean made-up words, and no words are more made up than the words used for magic. In just a moment here, we're going to play a number of spells. We want you to identify who cast them and what the spell does. Whoever can identify the most will get the point for this shiny question. Cool. All right, let's play that first sound.
Hicketus, figgetus, megatus, mum, prestidigitonium, hicketus, figgetus,
This is from Merlin, and he's cleaning his like sanctum.
That is correct. He didn't say actually.
Wait,
And
no, this is
also,
not an actually though, is it?
Actually,
You don't have to actually on these.
Okay.
the movie is called Sword in the Stone.
It is called Sword in the
It is called Sword in the Stone. The important thing is,
Not that I have
for
a
the
good track
person
record.
casting it, which he did say Merlin, and what the spell does, which he did describe.
Did no one else hear a rap song? 'Cause that's what I heard the whole
Oh man, you
time.
could.
Yeah.
If you hear this, if you want to, please send us a rap over Merlin saying "Higgitus, figgitus, migitus, mo." I would love to hear what that sounds like. All right, let's play spell number 2. Emily.
This is the fairy godmother in Cinderella casting the spell that gives Cinderella her fancy dress for the ball.
That's correct. Let's hear that third spell.
Pajama, 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 jazama! Jazama, pajama, pajama, jazama!
Edgar.
This is a wild guess,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna take that it's like Mary Kate and Ashley in some kind of like weird 90s witch
Yeah, like
movie.
some twin witch
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
but like double trouble, like
Yeah.
something like that. No, it's not.
Another wild guess, it's from Bewitched.
No.
And it's, let me finish.
Yeah, okay.
She's casting her pajama party spell.
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
That is from Little Nemo, and that is Little Nemo banishing the Nightmare King. All right, let's play spell number 4.
Alohomora!
Emily.
It's Hermione,
Mm-hmm.
and it's Alohomora, which I think it's revealing a doorway.
You have Hermione right. It doesn't reveal a doorway.
Is it Hermione doing the potion thing where you look different?
No, that's Polyjuice Poster.
But you don't have to
You don't
cast a
have to
spell
do a
over the
cast- you don't
polyjuice.
have to
It's
cast
just classic alchemy.
That's the wonder of potions. You know,
Wow.
it's magic in a bottle. It's like cooking, but magic
Yeah.
cooking. And that point will go to Emily. That's Hermione. Alohomora opens locks.
Okay, I was so close.
Yeah,
I
you
said revealing a
reveal-
door, it opening. Okay.
Let's play spell number 5.
Is her name Galadriel? Like repulsing herself from the One Ring?
You are in the
Like
right
protecting herself?
You're in the right property, but
I'm in
that's
the right
not,
property?
But that's not what it is. It is from Lord of the Rings.
Is it the young female elf pushing the waters back so they can cross into the city of the elves?
It is. I'll still give it to you. That was Arwen. Arwen.
I almost guessed Erewhon, but that would have also been wrong.
If you
Erewhon's the
mumbled it
grocery
enough, I
store.
probably would have been like,
Yeah.
maybe? Did you say that right? Let's play our last spell.
Doomblade Barristone, Mr. Cronies, Madly Onrak, of all the places. Color!
This is from Flight of Dragons?
It is.
It's
He looks like he's about to come.
is it the guy at the bookstore summoning them into the game?
No. No.
So he must be defending himself from something. He's trying to cast a spell and someone's interfering.
I don't know if
Is it the blue wizard?
This man deserves the point.
Yeah,
for
I mean,
even
I'll
knowing what that clip is.
I'll go ahead and give you the point. You gotta break the tie anyway,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
might as well do it that
I
way.
really want to know though.
Whoever put in that clip was just like, yo, this is gonna throw him. But they
Fight the Dragon is my
that
jam.
this dude was gonna be in here.
That was a spell of removal or a teleportation spell.
Carolinus.
Carolinus casting the spell of removal. As always, our final question concerns real life skills.
Ooh.
These are just things that are perhaps valuable for the real world, have nothing to do with any of the properties we've talked about.
Going from Flight of Dragons to this might be brutal if I don't know this one.
If you are looking to control weight loss or gain, it's important to track the calories you consume. On the screen, you'll see 6 different snacking options. If you were looking for the lowest calorie snack, you should choose a small serving of cashews. Emily.
Actually, the lowest calorie option would be the egg.
That's correct. The hard-boiled egg is easily the lowest calorie option
wow.
here. Only about 80 calories in that egg with a little bit of mustard.
A little bit of mustard. I was wondering what that was.
Everything else is over 200 calories, including that little 2-ounce portion of cashews, which actually has the highest calories of all
Who knew?
these food options
I
here.
was just looking at the French fries the whole time.
I want you to say the French fries are the best. We could make that happen, right?
Well, that's the best part about like game shows like this is that they make you be like, no, that thing that's obviously true is false, right?
It's a total like Princess Bride, like Battle of Wits thing.
Yeah.
It's like, you want me to choose this, which means I shouldn't, but you know I would think that. That is correct, so that's a point for Emily, making our final score. 5 for Nick, 4 for Emily, 3 for Edgar, and that is our episode. Thank you so much for joining, and come back next time for even more hyper-specific pedantic corrections on Actually. It does have that sound quality of that sort of Rankin
Yeah.
Bass, like, I'm gentle.
That was definitely how I was narrowing some of that stuff down, was like, how much buzz is on this clip?
Yeah.